Hello YouTube, I am Ninja Tom, and welcome to episode 8 of my walkthrough for Homeworld. The fleet's all assembled. I went ahead and got I got my carriers up to 4. And, yeah, rebuilt my scouts up to 15. Got my other strike craft up to 20. Maxed out my corvettes again, 20 salvage corvettes, 20 heavy corvettes, 10 multi-guns. And yeah, it's not a lot of building going on. Harvested the resources, which took forever. And with that, we're going to make the hyperspace jump. I'm going to quick dock because that would take forever.
Hyperspace engaged.
We are about to enter the outer limits.
Welcome to my favoritist mission, Supernova Station.
All ships auto-launching.
Alright. One advantage of having more carriers is that it doesn't take nearly as long for all your ships to deploy. Because you have more ports for them to fly out of. Right. Enough of that. Alright, this is not skippable. I cannot skip this. Oh, now I can.
Research station.
Yeah.
Research division reports.
So, first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your ships here on the edges of your fleet are not sparking. Alright, mine aren't. That's good. So, remember way back in like episode 3 or so when I was all like, sometimes it does hurt to bring a little extra. Well, today is that day. Okay? The narrowness of these paths really mean that you need to bring along the force that is just right for the job and not bring a whole lot of extra stuff. Now, this one's gonna be very long. It's gonna be very long indeed. We're going to be doing a lot of cuts in this, so you don't have to sit there and watch me maneuver through these dust paths. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and grab your missile destroyers and start moving them out along this. Here, let me move it so you guys can actually see. Along this path. This path. Alright? This first red dot here is your group of enemy fighters. And I think some corvettes too. The remaining 3 are mines, which we will get into. And then this one is a new friend. 3 new friends. Okay? So, we'll get our missile destroyers ready to go. Let's grab a carrier too. We'll pick our Titani one. Actually, we'll retire our Titani one. You will now be assigned. Okay. Attack bombers are going to have pretty much no role in this scenario. Alright, we're going to keep stuff put away that we don't need. So, this carrier will now be the new Group 10. Okay, we're going to take our scouts. We're going to dock them. We're going to take our salvage corvettes. We're going to dock them. And we're going to select him. And we're going to... Alright, if you want to... What's going on?
The enemy is using mines.
Yeah.
Research division reports it can produce a Corvette-class mine-laying ship. We advise commencing research immediately.
Okay. Our mine-laying destroyers are mine-clearing destroyers, actually what they're going to be. Right, quick tip, right? You want to specifically build or go to the launch bay for a specific carrier. You just select that one, and then you go to the relevant page, and it will already be highlighted. Alright? Now, if you only have 20 salvage corvettes, then they'll all fit in there. If you have more than that, they might fit. I forget the exact numbers. But this is not going to be a battle where sort of you make a giant death ball and send everything at them. It's a mission where you take strike groups of exactly what you need, and you send them where they need to go, and that's it. That's why I really like it, you know. So once all these guys get in here, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and get him caught up to our little missile destroyers. So here's a method for making sure that you stay within the thing. Right, you look directly down on it and you line it up, and you hold the shift button, and then you right-click to rotate around, and you let go of that right button when you got it. You're looking at it from the side like this. Okay, it can be kind of tough to see, I know, because of the coloration on the background, but it'll be more clear on your screen. Then you let go of that right mouse button and you continue holding shift the whole time, and then you line it up with the dust path, and bam, now my ship will be exactly where I need it to be. Okay, that's how you do that. So we're gonna go ahead and move our missile destroyers out, make sure that they stay within the dust path. We're gonna grab our few remaining, yeah, I'm still not over it, support frigates, and we're gonna have them go with the carrier just in case. Alright. You need at least 2 support frigates, preferably 3. More is better for this mission because of the nature of the terrain, especially for these and this and that. Okay. This is one of the first missions where I start passing up on captures and start going for kills instead. That's me. You can continue to capture these ships if you want. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I just okay. Boop. Okay. I no longer. There just comes a time where I'm like, I don't really need any more assault frigates, guys. Thanks, appreciate it, but I'm good. These guys are kind of skimming the top. That's okay. All right. So while they're scooting along here, I'll demonstrate. So you want to hit Control, and then you want to hold down Shift, and then drag a box in front of them. When we get to the minefield, that is like Control won't let you attack your own dudes. If you hold down Shift, they will, so be cautious about that. It's the force attack command, and it's the only method you have at this point for engaging mines. And the freaking Nova makes it almost impossible to spot. Fortunately, the first group of foes we're going to encounter here are not mines. They're strike craft. Make the shoots, gentlemen. There we go. All right. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they make the Corvettes run crying home to mama. You see how those missiles are just flying around all willy-nilly? That's why we don't tend to mix them in with groups of strike craft. Alright, so we're going to tell our salvage, or support corvettes to do the assist. We're going to move our carrier up. Carriers, you can't actually mix them in with formations. They just turn them into a military parade. They don't do formations or guard orders very well, so you tend to have to just give them independent move commands. Alright, just a little something for you to keep in mind as we progress. Alright, so with the enemy strike craft taken out quite handily by our missile destroyers, we're going to make our way towards the first minefield. Okay. I will show you the technique for harvesting these asteroid patches. Don't worry, it'll just be at the end. because I don't need to harvest anything right now, and I don't want to split my attention. All right, you see these? You see? You may not be able to, but you'll start to see what appears to be space dust in a very regular pattern. That's a minefield. All right. So we put them on aggressive, and we give them the force attack command. I don't know what this gentleman here is doing. I'm not sure what his plan is. Maybe it's I don't want to get hit with mines. All right, here we go. Halt. Because you don't want him to keep drifting forward like that, so just give him a little move back command. Don't want him to drift forward into the mines. Now, don't panic if some mines start to hit your missile destroyers. It's okay. They can take it. They're just, they're still destroyers. They're quite durable. Wow, you can actually tell them to shoot missiles at the missiles doing that. Control-click command. See how it highlights them? So, don't do that. That's not going to help you achieve your goals at all. Alright? But yeah, this is the perspective you want. You want to be looking at them from the right side so you don't have that super bright supernova goodness right there. Alright, here's our next little pattern. Okay. So we're going to take that out. And just bear in mind that after you kill the third set of mine layer corvettes, that's the third mine layer corvette, you need to halt because there's a heavy cruiser and 2 destroyers ahead, and you don't want to destroy them, and your missile destroyers probably can't handle them anyway. Alright? Missile destroyers are an excellent addition to the fleet. They do good damage at very long range, and they destroy strike craft, but they do not have the same anti-capital ship firepower that our ion cannon equipped vessels have. Okay? So, I mean, they can attack from a longer range. They do great burst damage. Alright, here, this is a big minefield here. Alright, and there's the mine layer corvette. That's the first one. Alright, we're going to fire missiles. Fire missiles. Alright. They're engaging, so we're just going to leave them alone. Alright, there they go. Getting some hits on that mine layer corvette. There we go. That's what we like to see. Alright, and there we go. Okay. So there's the first mine layer taken out. Let's move on up to the second one. We're going to scoot forward just a little bit. We're going to move our carry up to where our missile destroyers are now. That's good. Right there. Focus back in our missile destroyers, because the mine layer corvettes, they've deployed mines in front of where they actually are. See, there's another field. Just gotta be patient. Take it one minefield at a time. Make sure you get the entire minefield, and then once your missile destroyers start engaging, just leave them alone. Oh, looks like we ran into a little random mine there. See how much damage they did? See? Yes, the entire minefield could do significant damage if they just ran into it. But we're not doing that. Alternatively, you can just take regular destroyers with support frigates guarding them and just run right through the minefields and ignore them. Not like have like a sort. If you have enough support frigates, which we don't, or just hang on, pow. You can just tell them to move forward, take your time, and then have the support frigates just be constantly repairing them. as another way, a faster way to handle this particular scenario. Alright, we got some more mines. It's a pretty irregular field. Looks like he's trying to create a mine sphere instead of the walls we've been seeing.
Reporting for duty. Underway. For reporting. Target acquired.
Alright, here we go. This one's going to get so many missiles.
Engaging.
Okay.
Target confirmed.
Just be alert, the mine layer Corvette is going to continue dumping out mines.
Intercept course punched in.
Don't worry about it over much. See, missile destroyers can handle it.
Commands received.
They can.
Target confirmed. Locked on target.
Alright, there's the second mine laying Corvette. We will instruct our missile destroyers to move up once more.
New heading set.
And we will tell our carrier to scoot forward as well. Fortunately, the carrier moves so slowly that it's unlikely that they'll actually skip ahead of the missile destroyers while they're trying to clear stuff out. And if they do, though they move really slowly, so you can just tell them to stop. Like, hey, don't do that. I'm like, oh, okay. My bad. No problem. Okay. Move it on out, gentlemen.
Confirmed.
Alright, this is there. See? Just tell them to stop. You don't even have to be doing this. You can just leave your carrier there, and then when you get to the cruisers, bring it up then. I just don't want to wait that long. I don't want to make you guys wait that long either.
Coordinates confirmed. Understood.
What are they shooting at? They're not shooting at that minefield. That's right. Okay, shoot at that minefield. Alright.
Target acquired.
Let me make sure we get that mine layer Corvette so it doesn't start throwing out mines right next to our missile destroyers. Let's go ahead and tell them to back up a bit. Okay. That's the third Corvette. Nope, that's the third Corvette. Okay, so missile destroyers can now just kind of hang out. All right. We're gonna I retract that statement. We're not gonna just hang out. We're gonna go forward a skosh to make sure that we've got all the mines. All right. Because while our carriers and missile destroyers and other super capital ships can take mines with more or less with impunity, our salvage corvettes and scouts definitely cannot. Oh yeah, there's a whole nother minefield there. Let's go ahead and we'll take care of that before we shift over. There's actually quite a few mines over here. That's a very large field. It's several different fields. It has layers. Take out those two. Take out those two. Take out those two. There you go. Pow, 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 pow. Alright, good job. Hey, wait, man, this guy's doing all the work. Make sure we're not getting too close. We don't want the heavy cruiser to attack our missile destroyers. That is a... Turns out heavy cruisers are a hard counter for missile destroyers. Missile destroyers just, they can't compete. And they shouldn't, you know? That's not their job. Their job is to provide heavy strike craft cover, and that they do admirably. Okay, so now we move the carrier up. We good? We good? Alright, I think we're good. Alright, so we're going to save. Alright, guys. I've messed this heavy cruiser cap up a couple times now.
Standing by.
We don't just... the way that I normally do this, I can't do it because we don't actually have enough support frigates to pull it off. So, we'll do something a little different.
All ships auto-launching. Building from mothership.
Build carrier number 4, not the missile destroyer.
Maximum number of missile destroyers reached.
Actually, have to tell it to build.
Building
Build.
from
There we
mothership.
go. Alright. Wall.
Production underway.
Wall. Wall. Right. We want to make sure that our salvage corvettes don't just get into a formation that gets them stuck out the side of the field. Normally I can just like move this whole group in there. They'll attack either the carrier or the support frigates. And then we can just repair through it. But since we only have 3, that's not really an option. So what we're going to do is move the scouts in to annoy them, and then just have the scouts are just going to take a beating. It's just the way it's going to be. Alright. Crap, I keep doing that. Alright. Look at us, we're scouts. Look how annoying we are. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Man, it's a good thing I put you guys in claw formation so you'd spread the hell out, huh? Good job. Just run into them. Just run into them. I think we really need to review our flight training program because it is clearly not working out for any of the people involved. Now, we want our scouts to keep these guys facing away from our salvage corvettes so that there won't be any salvage corvette flying directly into ion beam. Because they'll do it. They will do it. Their pathfinding AI just completely ceases when they start salvage to dock. They dock with the ship to salvage it. All right. Why is he still able to shoot? All right. We're gonna send these support frigates to repair the salvage corvettes because my luck is such that they'll probably get blown up otherwise. Normally, for the vast majority of the time, once you guys can just let these salvage corvettes latch on and leave them alone. They'll make it back, no problem. All right. And by the way, it takes 5 salvage corvettes for a heavy cruiser, just like a carrier. But yeah, I've been having some shitty luck with this entire walkthrough, probably because I'm doing it live. Oh God, what? Oh.
Support command.
I actually had my scouts a couple times back ram the salvage corvettes while they were still on the cruisers. They just like, pachow, you know, just blew them the hell up. Alright, so we're going to save. Sure. Heavy cruise. And, alright, I'm going to break here while we shuffle these dudes back.
Group 3 copies. Reporting.
I still have 10 scouts, that's all I need. I didn't lose any salvage corvettes. Alright, so we're going to break. And cut. Alright guys, now that we've got our sweet new heavy cruiser, I'm gonna grab him and 3 regular destroyers. I'm gonna put them in wall formation, and I'm gonna move them to where Mr. Carrier is. All the way out here. Ugh. Hang on. Why you... Alright, so we're gonna pan over there, and then we're gonna try that again. Okay, you should just be able to move them straight there. Okay. And, you know, they're super heavy ships, so in the event that they do take some damage, not a big deal. Alright? We're going to move our support frigates back to where Mr. Carrier's hanging out at. We're going to pan back over there. Pan back over. Or not.
Destination confirmed.
Alright. And we're also going to send our salvage corvettes back.
Awaiting assignment.
Alright. This is going to take a little bit, so we're going to break again. And I will bring it back once the salvage corvettes and support frigates have made it back to the carrier. The destroyers and heavy cruiser will take longer. That's fine. We're going to be doing something in the meantime. Alright. See you after the break. Alright guys, so all my salvage corvettes are docked inside Mr. Carrier here, and I've set the support frigates to support him and each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to get as close as possible to this red dot right here, which is a group of, I think, 4 assault frigates. And we're going to move Mr. Carrier through the irradiated zone down towards our foes. Now... the assault frigates there will immediately target either the carrier or one of the support frigates, and he is fine. They don't have enough firepower to be a threat to any of those as long as we're prompt in supporting them. And we absolutely cannot afford to lose any more support frigates. So, once we get there, once they've engaged the capital ship of choice, we will launch our salvage corvettes and capture the assault frigates. Now, when we capture them, we're just going to leave them there. You can, if you want, move them through this dust path back to your mothership.
Radiation is much heavier than we expected.
Yeah. If you want. That's not necessary. You can just leave them there, and then when the mission ends, you can quick dock, and they'll just appear right there. Now, if you don't want to do this, which is perfectly understandable, what you can do instead is ignore them. And then when the time comes for you to attack their base, what will happen instead is you guys are going to move too, right? Right. They'll make their way directly towards the base through this huge radiation right here. And as a result, will be very, very badly damaged when they arrive. So that's something to consider. Alright, let's get him over to the side a bit. Hang on. M.
Ground under attack. New heading set. Code 5 responding.
Alright. So, the assault frigates are targeting the support frigates. So what we do is we tell each support frigate to support the other two.
Support commander's command acknowledged. Standing by. Standing by.
And then Mr. Carrier will launch his salvage corvettes.
Launching.
Report.
Right? See? They're fine.
Reporting for duty. Salvage target report received. Waiting assignment. Supplies on the way. Hang in there. Group 3 acknowledged. Candidate online. Target selected for assault. Group 5. Group 5 copies.
Little tense here, sure. But as each of our salvage corvettes lashes on to yet another assault frigate, the incoming damage will decrease.
Pick your targets.
Okay?
Group 5 under attack.
And we are victorious. So, and now the salvage corvettes will take the new our new assault frigates to Mr. Carrier.
Ready for order.
At which point,
Acknowledged.
you can retire the assault frigates if you want. You can retire them here. I'm going to hang on to them, and I'm going to leave them here. Alright. Mr. Carrier needs to stop moving. Make it easier for our dudes
Enemy
to
assault frigate captured.
turn them in. Okay? And while that's going on, we'll direct our attention back to our little assault fleet here.
Window 3 receiving.
Alright.
Group 1 copies.
I forget what Group 2 normally is.
Group 2.
Oh, our heavy
assigned.
corvettes, of course. How can I forget? So we're going to reassign Group 2. We're going to tell the missile corvettes to escort them.
3 responding.
And we're going to move them along this path here. They will be perfectly safe. Nothing's going to attack them, so you can safely ignore them. Just tell them to move, and they'll start making their terribly slow heavy cruiser speed way down to
Group 5 reporting.
the
Enemy assault frigate captured.
enemy base there.
Orders on the way. Hang in there.
Alright, we're basically going to be coming at this from behind. They expect you to, like, attack from this way. I'm not sure how you're supposed to just, like, dive right through the radiation. No, I'm not going to do that. And you shouldn't either. No reason to. No reason to. Okay, alright. Okay, so I'm going to break again. And I guess we'll rejoin. See, I don't remember if there are assault frigate or support frigates here. So we're gonna
Enemy
actually
assault frigate captured.
we're gonna bring Mr. Carrier along with this attack force. So I think what we're gonna do is just accept this group here as a loss. All right, we'll just shoot them. That should be fun, right? And then when they eventually make their way, they'll be very badly damaged by the time they get there. So we'll do that, and then have Mr. Carrier link up with our main attack force here with the salvage corvettes, and then in the event of there being any support frigates, we will capture them after we've cleaned out the base. Oh, which reminds me. Okay, so there's an enemy carrier at
Enemy assault frigate captured.
Group 5 receiving.
their what's Group 6? Drone frigates? Well, it's called the
Group
beam
6
frigates now.
designated.
There's an enemy carrier at their little supernova research station. And when you start winning, and you will, badly against their defense fleet, he's going to try and run away. If you position your ship as a blocking, you can. Well, it's fairly easy to catch him on his way out here. But if you want to capture him, leave some salvage corvettes where the heavy cruiser was, like around here-ish. Here-ish. I don't want to capture him
Enemy assault frigate captured.
because carrier numero 5 tends to screw things up. So I'm just going to send my multi-beam frigates and let him have a chance to carve up some carrier. Yum yum. Alright, and there we go. So, we make sure Mr. Carrier's set to not auto-launch. And we get our salvage corvettes back in the dock. And we'll leave these guys here for now. They'll be fine. Alright. Then once they're all docked, I'll move the carrier back up into this path and have him catch up with our fleet. Wherever it is that they're going to stop, like around here. And then we're going to work our way around and come at this from behind. Alright, I'm going to break here. I will restart this once I have everyone back in position. You're not missing anything significant. I'm just going to move the carrier up, basically the opposite path that he took to get there, and then he's going to join, and we'll restart when my fleet is here. Alright, here's how we're doing it. We're just going down. I know the dust looks very sparse here, but that's fine. And then we're going to make our way down this super narrow-ass path, which is why we're not bringing a lot of ships with us to attack the fleet. Or not the fleet. Well, there is a fleet there. The fleet and the base from the rear. Okay. See you after the break. Oh, before you tell your carrier to move and then forget about it, make sure you tell the assault frigates here to stop. Because otherwise, they'll go with the carrier. They'll stay in their little military parade formation and move with the carrier, which is not what you want. Okay. Alright guys, I was able to sort of alt look in here and see that there aren't any support frigates for us to grab. So, left Mr. Carrier where he was, over here. So we're just going to move these guys out by themselves. Alright? And I told the support frigates to take a faster path. Now what I'm doing here is I'm telling that support frigate to repair the other two support frigates, and then these support frigates to repair the capital ships. This will keep these two support frigates alive, and you can just periodically switch that out. Have one that's less damaged, an undamaged one. Stop repairing just the super caps and have it repair your support frigates, and have the damaged one switch to repairing the capital ships. Okay, it's a little micro intensive, something you have to keep on top of, but that's the nature of the beast, you know. So this will be a nice satisfying moment for us. We get to just take our big ships and blow the crap out of a bunch of enemy ships. We're not going to capture any of them. They're all assault frigates and ion cannon frigates, of which we have plenty. Okay, the only sticky part is that there's an enemy carrier that's going to try and run away. So, our multi-beam frigates are going to be in sphere and evasive. Or, you know what? Claw and evasive. Yeah, that'll work. Their job is going to be to, you know, take him out. The reason I'm not using a wall is I want something a little more... I want him to be a little more maneuverable, because that stupid-ass carrier will try and ram your frigates, and if you leave him in a wall, he'll just plow right through them. Yeah, it'll be so frustrating. Okay.
We are picking up a
God damn
quantum
it.
wave of
Stop doing that.
A Titan carrier is loading ships and powering up. It must be destroyed before it can hyperspace. We must destroy the garrison protecting the station.
So we're going to see if we can actually just
cannot be allowed to escape
take him out
the Empire to our presence.
right off Jump Street. I don't want to threaten any more of the irreplaceable frigate assets I've got. Like ion cannon frigates, assault frigates, hell with them. If they die, you know, that's just the price of doing business. But I am sick of losing... I don't want to... Well, I'm sick of losing support frigates. There can be no doubt. And I'd prefer not to lose any multi-beams as well. Alright, now, he's not going anywhere. That gentleman is done. Look at all them fire. Yeah, look at all them missiles and that fire and stuff. Alright, we're going to go ahead and tell the... Excellent. We'll have our big ships focus on their ion cannon frigates. And we'll have our missile destroyers take out their remaining strike craft. The vessels in the greatest danger here are, in fact, the support frigates, due to the huge disparity in firepower and armor. Looks like their strike craft are going to be focusing on them, which is wise of them. Alright, let's go ahead and hit that there. That ion cannon frigate is actually ideally positioned. Alright, you see all these missiles flying around? That is why there are no frigates, apart from the support frigates in this mix. I like missile destroyers. They're functional. But good lord, they don't understand that friendly fire is not a good thing. Or, well, they do, but their missiles do not. Alright, here's that group of enemy assault frigates that we declined to capture. And they're just gonna be all kinds of messed up. So let's go ahead and just light them on fire. See, they got the little sparks coming out their engines. They've taken some damage from that radiation. They probably didn't expect there to be a heavy cruiser in the mix. Mostly because we're not supposed to be able to have those yet. Alright. Like a hot knife through a cliche, gentlemen. Like a hot knife through a cliche. Alright, general attack mode, go. Alright, these defenders are... defenders are only a threat to strike craft. Their actual, like, damage output is insignificant next to the power of the force. No, but seriously, they don't do a whole lot of damage. They're not... Their strength lies in their large coverage of their weapons. They can fire in pretty much every direction, and they can rotate very quickly, which means that they're great against fast maneuverable strike craft, especially scouts. But they have nothing to offer against heavier vessels, like the ones we're bringing here. I'm gonna set the missile destroyers to clear them out, though. No reason not to. We'll just go boop, and there we go. And this will mark our victory. As soon as we've wiped all these here bad guys out, I'm gonna do a cut. I'm gonna move my support frigates back to the mothership. Okay? And then I will show you the approved method for harvesting in dangerous environs. Alright? It's pretty simple. I can typically do it in the middle of this mission while I'm doing all these other things. You just have to periodically check your map. I didn't, because I didn't want to be jumping back and forth and explaining stuff. You know, I gotta keep this at a pace that doesn't, bewilder the new player, who really this guide is for. I was like, I've never played Homeworld. I'm following Ninja Tom's guide. I'm playing every mission first by myself, and then, after getting horribly crushed by shit that I had no idea and had no real reason to expect was going to happen, I am now referring to this guide, which is the ideal way for you to do this. Actually, the ideal way for you to do this is play through the campaign once, victoriously, and then come to this for the delicious trolley goodness of having a gigantic space pirate fleet. Haha!
Group 2 has defeated the enemy.
Alright. That's it, gentlemen.
Enemy base and fleet destroyed.
We are victorious.
Hyperspace drives online.
Okay, tell your super caps to chill out. Everyone's gonna stay where they are, except for our harvesters and our support frigates, who are going to be heading back to the mothership.
Destination confirmed.
Alright, so I'm gonna cut here, and I will see you guys when we're back at the mothership. I'm gonna move them across this radiation here and take the path that we've been using back to the mothership. Alright, Ninja Tom out, briefly. Okay guys, our support frigates are back with the mothership, and we can get this show on the road. I'd just like to note that our fleet, even with all that firepower away, all our multi-beams, and 7 super capital ships, we still have a pretty significant fleet. It's a good feeling. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 resource collectors here.
Green line confirmed.
Alright. And
Standing by.
this carrier, he's going to escort them.
Reporting. Waiting assignment.
We're going to go ahead and move them out to this one. Alright, make sure that you set their movement to inside the asteroid cluster.
Coordinates confirmed.
Okay. And then once they get a little farther away,
Acknowledged.
we're going to tell these guys to guard this. This is not what we're going to keep them at. We're just giving them a little space so I can safely bandbox them and not gather other things as well. Oh, shoot, I forgot to research proximity sensors. Be sure and do that.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, so our 2 handy support frigates here,
Receiving.
we're going to set them to repair all the ships involved
Waiting assignment there.
and each other.
Support command acknowledged.
The resource collectors can probably make the trip safely one way,
Responding.
but I don't think they actually repair themselves at the carrier. So the support frigates are there to make sure that they can actually make it back. And a sort of an insurance. If, you know, you're in the middle of an intense battle or something, and then your resource collectors scoot off to go harvest something else, the support frigates will make it reasonably certain that they will be able to survive the trip. Okay. Now, the innate derpiness of the support frigates means that you can't just set them to harvest and then ignore them. At some point, you're gonna start losing support frigates. We're gonna
Group
temporarily
5
assign these to be
designated.
Group 5.
Responding.
It gives you a bit of a safety net. Okay, doesn't take them long to get there. Look, they're actually repairing each other, and they're not falling. The reason you have to pay
Proximity
attention to
detector
this
research complete.
is
Proximity sensor available for construction.
yes, thank you. In the event that the 2 support frigates stop following for a bit and repair each other, because if they start doing that, then they could get stuck just sitting there zapping each other with their Healy beams, which sort of defeats the purpose. Okay. Our fleet's kind of scattered right now, no big deal. Though this is one of the reasons why you want to have 2 carriers. It saves you a lot of time and makes it possible for you to do this and support any capture or attack missions that you want to do at the same time. You know, if you have 2 carriers, you can, you know, set them up to just replace your resource controllers and support your attacks. You know, carriers are very useful vessels. Very useful. Okay, we're now all within the safe zone of the asteroid field. We're going to
Group
temporarily
10
assign these guys to
designated.
Group 10. And we're going to set them to harvest.
Position enabled.
Alright?
Group 5 receiving.
Ford frigates are healing each other, healing the carrier, healing everything. It's good, that's what we want them to do. And thus we can safely conduct harvest operations. Alright? I'm going to break here. I'm going to harvest this one. I'm going to harvest that one. I'm going to completely ignore this one, and then we're going to jump out. Okay? Quick docking is very crucial here. Alright, you absolutely want to quick dock, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of ships. You're going to have to move all your dudes into position manually, which will take forever, or you're going to have to, your ships will just drive straight through radiation space and melt away. Okay? Alright, I'll see you guys after the break. Hey guys, just a brief interlude here. When you're done with one mining patch, you can just send them right across to the other one, but it doesn't hurt to take a little break for your guys in one of the safe patch that they'll run into. Give everybody a chance to get all caught up, healing wise, right? And then you can just move them right back out. Alright, see you guys after the break. Hey guys, another quick interlude here. There's a couple of large asteroids in this patch that are initially unharvestable. There's a solution for that. It's called your destroyers. You can safely move them through the radiation. This is how much damage they took from moving from the mothership to here. Right? Perfectly safe. Okay. Our harvesting will be done here in just a moment, and after that we'll take our delicious new resources and significantly expanded fleet and start episode 8. As a matter of fact,
Group 5 responding. Support command received.
come on. Give me a good angle. There we go.
Support is on the way. Hang in there. Standing by. Support command acknowledged. Reporting for duty. Resources downrange.
Alright guys, yep, this is it. This is the end of episode 8. So, thanks for watching. I hope it helped. And I will see you guys next time on the illustrious episode 9 of Ninja Tom's walkthrough of Homeworld.